I guess with the success of requeling the Scream franchise, it was only a matter of time before other 90s slashers got the same treatment. I Know What You Did Last Summer has arrived. Is this one going to hook you? Get it? Hooked? Because of... So if you've seen the original film, you know exactly what this movie is. While the dialogue and characters have been updated to match the current aesthetics, the premise and the trajectory pretty much identical. We follow 5 friends who are the cause of a deadly accident, and a year later, they begin to be stalked by a rain slicker wearing, meat hook wielding killer, who is then intent on taking them out, presumably because of their previous actions. I mean, at least that's what the messages they're given point to. The young cast has some good chemistry, and aside from one of them, I liked the wit and the timing they shared. Now, I wasn't too impressed with Jonah Hauer-King's persona of Milo. I don't think it's really his fault, just the writing for the character had him feeling flat and without really much to do in the story. Now, the 3 female leads, they're engaging, and despite sometimes coming across as though they might be less than capable, they can put up a gnarly fight, and they don't become withering flowers of mush at the slightest potential threat. Madeline Klein, Chase Sui Wonders, and Sarah Pigeon give us a good dynamic that's this mix of sarcasm, camaraderie, and some antagonism. And of course, with any requel, we need some legacy players. That's where Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. come in, reprising their roles of Julie and Ray respectively. It was good to see them in this, but like Julie says at one point, nostalgia's overrated. That was probably the most accurate line in the entire movie. This is a surprisingly dull slasher. The kills are fun, but there's an overwhelming lack of dread and suspense. The killer's mostly obvious, but the potential thrills are scattered about, ramping up energy and then losing it by going into a story lull. Now, it's quite a feat to take a revered IP and then make it boring and slow. And it's just under 2 hours, and every single minute I felt. I think in an attempt to obscure the perpetrator, the story creates scenarios that become drawn out and then uninteresting. And while I liked some of the banter between the cast, especially when it was snarky, so much of the writing is just plain poorly executed. Even though some of the kills are gruesome, they're not unique or even shocking. I was hoping with an updated version, we'd get something more creative with the use of this giant hook, kind of like the yoga scene in A Violent Nature. We don't get that.